Hello everybody, this is GeneralJannis with another Death Card Tactics and in today's edition I will be looking at the ranged weapon for the Blightlord Terminators. A couple of days ago I looked at the melee weapons and now I thought to continue with the ranged weapon options. So looking at the ranged weapon options for the Blightlord Terminators, the standard weapon is the Combibolter, and with a standard weapon, the model, the Blightlord Terminator, has a 43 point cost. The rules say that any model can replace the Combibolter with another weapon from the combi weapon list, which includes the Combiplasma, the Combimelta, or the Combiflamer, and all of those cost the same. And if this is upgraded, then instead of 43 points per model, then we have 50 points per model. Additionally, 1 in 5 models can replace the Combibolter with either Blightlauncher, Reaper autocannon, or Plague Spewer, against similar costs, so those go also up to 50 points per model. So basically there is a lot of decisions to make here, a lot of options, and which weapons are worth taking, and then how to use them. They are more complicated with supercharging and selecting profile abilities. So let's dive into the math, and bear with me because this video includes even more spreadsheets and graphs than typical of my videos. So bear with me while we look at the data. Starting with the stats of the weapons. For the ranged weapons, here we have all the weapon options. The standard, as I said, is the Combibolter, costing 3 points. It's a rapid fire 2 weapon with a range 24. It's not a plague weapon, and its strength profile is 401, so it's basically a many bolters, let's say, like the name suggests. Things to notice about the ranged weapons, due to the with the death card inexorable advance, the Blightlord Terminators, they don't have any penalties to move and shoot heavy weapons or advance and shoot assault weapons. And death card inexorable advance additionally gives double shots for rapid fire weapons at 18 inches rather than only half range. And the malicious volleys give Terminators always the ability to shoot double shots with bolter weapons. This means that the Combibolter would always shoot twice at the maximum range of 24 inch. So each Combibolter would be shooting 4 shots in this case. If we look at the next weapon, we have the Combimelta, which consists of a bolt gun and a melta gun. The point cost is 10, and basically all the combi weapons and all the special weapons available have all the base cost of 10. The bolt gun is a rapid fire 1 weapon, and the melta gun is an assault 1 weapon. So the bolt gun in this case would be shooting 2 shots at 24 inch. The melta gun can only shoot 1 shot at 12 inch. And here we see the strength of the melta is strength 8, AP -4, and damage D6. And in half range, the damage currently is 2d6, and you choose the highest. And the combi, basically all the combi weapons are not plague weapons. And so if we continue from the Combimelta, we come to the Combiplasma, which is basically a bolt gun and a plasma gun. Here we see that they are rapid fire 1 weapons, and the range for the double shots, the bolt gun is always 24 inch, shoots double, and the plasma gun will shoot double at 18 inch due to the inexorable advance. And as always with plasma guns, there is the profile of standard shoot and supercharging. And supercharging gives additional strength and additional damage, but in a 1 to hit, the model is slain. As some of my viewers commented in another video, there is a very interesting stratagem for the Blightlord Terminators, but you have to select the Ferryman Plague Company. And this stratagem, for 1 command point called Vermid Whispers, gives 1 to hit for the Blightlord Terminators. And with the current rules, that would avoid them to get they cannot basically hit a 1. So you can always make a supercharging if you use this stratagem. But of course, there could be some modifications in the rules that say that the model is slain with an unmodified 1 to hit. But this is a very interesting option, and it makes supercharging viable with the Combiplasmas and the Blightlord Terminators, which could be a very good option here. The Combiflamer is a combination of a bolt gun and a flamer, as the name suggests, and the flamer has assault D6 type, but the range is only 8 inches, and it has an auto hit, and the weapon is not very strong. It's just a typical, let's say, bolter type shots, but 8 inches is not very good range. And then so those were the combi weapons available. And then if we go to the special weapons, we have the Blightlauncher, which is an assault 2 weapon with a range 24. It is a plague weapon, which can be quite important. The strength is 6, minus 2 AP and D3 damage. Then we have the Reaper autocannon, which is a heavy 4 weapon with the longest range of all the options, 36 inches. It's not a plague weapon, and it's strength 7, AP minus 1, and only 1 damage. This could also be, if this weapon should be viable, then maybe the heavy bolter, it could increase the damage, but currently it's only damage 1. And the final choice is the Plague Spewer, a heavy D6 flamer plague weapon with a 9-inch range. As I said, it is a plague weapon, and the strength is 5, AP minus 1, and damage 1, and auto hit. So basically, the Plague Spewer is a improved version of the flamer in basically all aspects. All right, so let's continue with looking at the base data for the analysis. So the weapon, all weapon options were simulated over a variation of many targets, including variations of toughness, normal save, and Invul Save. So in this analysis, I assume that the Combibolter always shoots 4 shots. So the analysis goes per weapon. So the Combibolter always would shoot 4 shots, being within 24 inch. The Combiplasma is considered at within 18 inches. And here we have various options. So the plasma can shoot the 2 shots with a standard plasma and 2 shots with a bolter. I forgot to say that if you select to shoot with both profiles of a combi weapon, you get a -1 to hit for both of them. So in this case, to shoot 2 shots with a plasma and 2 shots with a bolter, both of all the shooting rolls would be -1 to hit. A similar profile shooting both profiles could be done with supercharged plasma, or it could be selected to only shoot with a plasma profile, and then we don't get the -1 to hit, or the 2 shots supercharged plasma only, and not the bolter. The Combimelta is considered at within 12 inches. Here it will give either 1 shot with a Melta plus 2 shots with a bolter at -1 to hit, or 1 shot with a Melta only. The Combiflamer is considered within 8-inch range, and this is quite a bad range for deepstrike, because when the Blightlord Terminators, the deepstrike, they can only be within they have to be at least 9 inches away from targets. So deep striking, you don't have the reach to hit with the Combiflamer or the flamer profile. Here, because the flamer is auto hit weapon, I only consider shooting with both profiles. So D6 shots with a flamer and 2 shots with a bolter. This would give -1 to hit for the bolter, but the flamer is an automatic hit. The Blightlauncher considered at 24-inch 2 shots, and the Reaper autocannon gives always 4 shots within 36 inch. The Plague Spewer is considered at within 9-inch D6 auto hit shots, and again also with like the Flamer, this is also a bad range for deep strike, because it's just not enough to shoot when coming out of deep strike. To simplify the result presentation, let's look first at the various options and see what is best, if it's better to shoot both or only use one profile. So we have here we have done the analysis for the Combiplasma and the Combimelta. Here we can see for the Combiplasma that is supercharged. We see here a variety of targets. In this case, there are a lot of targets here and average damage done by the weapon here. Here we have the Invul Save targets, and here we have targets with no Invul Save. And we see if we only shoot with the plasma profile of the gun and not, or if we shoot at both with the plasma and the bolter, supercharging, we see that the blue line is always giving higher damage than the orange line, and therefore if you want to supercharge your Combiplasma, never shoot also with a bolter. So it's better to use it like a straight plasma gun. If we look at the standard profile of the plasma, not supercharging, then we see the orange line is better for most cases than only using the plasma part. So in this case, it's better to shoot with both profiles, even if it means that you get -1 to hit for both the bolter and the plasma. The Combimelta shows that it's better to only shoot the Melta profile for nearly all cases. Again, the blue line gives higher damage than shooting with both a Melta and the bolter at -1 to hit. So going forward and presenting the results of the tables, I assume when the Combiplasma supercharge is used, it's only shooting the Combiplasma. Here for the standard, it's shooting with both profiles at -1 to hit, and the Combimelta only shoots the Melta profile. So here is a rather big table for all the damage per weapon for the selected the best, let's say, weapon options. And this are the tables for the No-Invul Save targets. So here we have all the weapon options for different targets toughness and different armor saves. So this is the results for a target with a 2+ armor save, a 3+ armor save, 4+ armor save, and so on. And a 7+ armor save means that the target does not have an armor save. So and illustrated with some green colors is which weapons do the most damage. So for example, for a 2+ armor save target, for all toughnesses, the Combimelta gives the highest damage. The Combiplasma supercharged is giving also quite good damage, and the Blightlauncher is also doing some good damage, but primarily for low toughness targets and not so much the high toughness targets. Then progressing up to less and less armor saves, we see a shift towards the Combiplasma and the Blightlauncher, and starting also to see the Plague Spewer starting to do more damage especially for low toughness targets. It's a bit difficult to summarize everything here, but a sort of summary would be that the Combimelta seems to be the best option for targets with good armor save, 2+ or 3+. The Combiplasma supercharged has a very good overall damage also versus high toughness targets. The Blightlauncher is a good option with overall damage across the board. The Spewer and the Flamer are good at low toughness, low save targets, but they have this big range limitation I was talking about. And the Blightlauncher is always better than the Reaper autocannon, and if the plasma, the Combiplasma, can only be shot at standard profile. So we see from Combiplasma supercharged to Combiplasma standard, there is a very big difference in the damage as expected. And in this case, the Blightlauncher would be much better than a Combiplasma that is not supercharged. Continuing with this table shows if the targets additionally have a 4+ Invul Save. And here we see that for targets with a 4+ Invul Save, the supercharged Combiplasma and the Blightlauncher are again good overall options, and Plasma is typically better at higher toughness and Blightlauncher better at lower toughness. So here the Combimelta is not doing as much damage because it has a single shot, and there is a good chance that the model can save with a 50-50 chance. And again, the Plague Spewer and the Combiflamer do some damage for low toughness and low armor save targets. Again, range is an issue with these weapons. So basically, these are all the raw data for the tables. I've tried to make some graphs to illustrate some of the points a bit more clear. So here we can see the Combiplasma, supercharged and standard profile versus the Blightlauncher. So here we have these graphs show the variety of targets, the average damage per weapon, and we have the Combibolter, the gray is the Combiplasma supercharged, and the yellow is the Combiplasma standard with the bolter shooting, and the green is the Blightlauncher. And here we can see the first targets are the 4+ Invul Save targets, 2+ save, 3+ save, and 4+ armor save. And here we go from toughness 3 to 8, continuing like this. And here we have the targets with no Invul Save targets. And what we can see, the Combiplasma, it gives a good high damage, basically consistently, if you can supercharge it. If not, the standard plasma, which is the yellow line, is rather lackluster, and as I said before, the Blightlauncher, the green line, is always better than the standard plasma. Still, all these options are better than the standard Combibolter for most of the cases. And the Blightlauncher is also overall good, like the Combiplasma. Yeah, and here is, for example, a Terminator, like a Blightlord Terminator, would have a 4+ Invul target with a toughness 5, 3, 4, 5, and 2+ armor save. And here we have the Intercessor here with a 3+ save and toughness 4 and no Invul save. Additional comparison here, here we can see the Combimelta versus the supercharged Combiplasma and the Blightlauncher. And as we saw before in the table, the Combimelta is good at versus targets with good armor saves, 2+ and 3+. Then we see the Combimelta does the highest damage. But when the targets have invul saves or bad armor saves, then it's not the best option. And Combimelta has a shorter range versus the other two weapons. However, 12-inch is okay for deep striking. You can still shoot the targets that you're deep striking against. Another one is this comparison is looking at the special weapons only. So it's the Blightlauncher, the Reaper autocannon, and the Plague Spewer. And basically here we can see that the Blightlauncher is overall the best special weapon option. The Plague Spewer has some parts where it's a bit better, but again with the range it's not optimal. The Reaper autocannon for most of the targets is below the Blightlauncher damage. And comparing finally the Combiflamer versus the Plague Spewer, basically here we can see the Plague Spewer is nearly always a better option. It has a plague weapon. It's a plague weapon. It has a bit higher range, higher strength, and higher AP. Both the weapons suffer from range, as I said, but the Plague Spewer range could be extended by 6-inch with a Grandfather Blessing stratagem. Finally, let's see what type of damage Blightlord Terminators can do shooting. So here we are assuming a 5-man squad of Terminators firing at some typical targets from the 9-inch deep strike range. So the first squad, we assume the 5 Blightlord Terminators are just equipped with the Combibolters here for a 215 point per squad cost. The squad B, the Blightlord Terminators have the Combiplasmas. The squad C, they have Combimeltas, and the squad D has 4 Combiplasmas and 1 Blightlauncher. For reference, for the similar point value, 240 points here, we can get 2 squads of 5 Plague Marines, in which 2 can have Blightlaunchers, and the champion has Plasma Gun, and there are 2 bolters in each squad. So here we can see against a typical intercessor, let's say, the standard squad with Combibolters only can do around two wounds. The Combiplasmas can do 9 wounds if they supercharge, but only around 4 wounds if they don't supercharge. The Combimeltas can do almost 10, killing almost the whole squad of intercessors and maybe giving you no target to charge. And if you combine the Combiplasma with a Blightlauncher, you get quite similar result with like supercharging your plasmas. And the reference squads of Plague Marines are not very far away, actually. Also 9 damage versus the intercessors. If we look against the Terminator type target with a toughness 5 and an Invul 4+ save, then we see the damage drops across the board. Here we see the Combiplasma and the Blightlauncher squad would do a bit better damage than only Combiplasma, and here the plasma are better than the Melta. But here we can see that the Plague Marines here would do more damage because they can dish out more shots in this configuration. Finally, if we look at a high toughness target like a Land Raider, here we would see basically the Combibolters wouldn't be able to do basically any damage. With supercharged plasmas, we can still do around 4 wounds. The Combimeltas allow for around 5 wounds, and the Plague Marines do also around 4 wounds. And again, if we cannot supercharge the Combiplasmas, then we only have very low wounds, one wound. In that case, definitely the Combimelta would be better if you cannot supercharge your plasmas. So summarizing something from here, we see that upgrading the weapons from the Combibolters give 3 to 10 times higher damage compared to standard Combibolters, and the increase is 35 points in this calculation, so almost only 16% cost increase, so definitely worth taking. And of course, in this total tables, I guess one of your Blightlord Terminators should always have the Flail of Corruption and therefore not shoot. That would be the case also for Plague Marines, I guess. Finally, summarizing this long presentation of many data, here we come to the summary and the final thoughts. So Combibolters, if you want to make significant damage with the Blightlord Terminator shooting, upgrade the Combibolters to some other weapon. If you only plan on doing melee damage, then stay with the cheaper option Combibolter, but for most of the times it would be worth upgrading the weapons. The Combiplasma are a very good option if you can supercharge consistently. The stratagem from the Ferryman Plague Company and or reroll once to hit aura would help to do this. And when you supercharge, only use the plasma profile, because you get more damage by avoiding to have the -1 to hit than you get with 2 extra bolter shots. So basically the Combiplasma in this case is like, why did we even bother sticking a bolter there? If you can't supercharge, use both profiles, 2 plasma shots plus 2 bolter shots, accepting the -1 to hit. If you don't think you could ever supercharge in a game, then it's better not to choose the Combiplasma and choose some other weapon. The Combimelta does good damage on many, but not all types of targets. So the targets with Invul Save and targets with no armor save or something, it has only limited amount of shots, potentially high damage per shot, but that's not optimal with, for example, low no armor save targets or targets with Invul saves. Only use the meta profile when shooting. Again, it's not worth shooting 2 extra bolter rounds and getting -1 to hit for the Melta. The Combimelta has a limited range of 12 inch. However, this should not be a problem with the deepstrike ability of the Blightlord Terminators. The Combiflamer does not seem to bring any significant value to the table, and if you want to take a flamer, then it's better to take a Plague Spewer. It's the normal Combiflamer is worse basically on all counts compared to the Plague Spewer, and 8-inch range is not optimal for the Blightlord Terminators Deepstrike. The Blightlauncher is the overall best special weapon option. Consider to take one in the squad for more versatility in the shooting, but again, if you do not take it and you take Combiplasmas or Combimeltas, it's not a huge deal on the damage. The Blightlauncher is a plague weapon for additional synergies with Death Guard, and it's also an assault weapon, which can be helpful in some occasions. The Reaper autocannon doesn't seem to bring value either. It's always worse than the Blightlauncher option for the same cost. The only benefit would be a 36-inch range, but I guess if you want to have the Blightlord Terminators, you want to get them close into the thick of battle, not stay away with only one guy at 36-inch range shooting with a damage 1 weapon. Finally, the Plague Spewer has a 9-inch range, not optimal for the deep striking. It can do a lot of damage versus low toughness and low armor save targets. It could be a deterrent to be if you get charged shooting some Overwatch, but all in all, I think you are better off not taking it. So final thoughts is substitute the Combibolters with Combiplasmas, ensuring that you would supercharge with stratagems and rerolls, or the Combimeltas. Consider substituting one Combiplasma or one Combimelta with one Blightlauncher in the squad for a bit more versatility. And finally, you want to stick with a deep strike, shoot, charge, and terminate. So this concludes this presentation and this analysis. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment or subscribe to the channel, where I will be posting more Death Guard tactics and analysis. And thanks again for all people viewing, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Your comments are very highly appreciated. And let me know in the comments if you have some other suggestion for weapon analysis to perform, especially for Death Guard. And so with these words, GeneralJannis is signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.